Hi everybody, Edith Calabrese here. Welcome to my cancer and journey story. This is video 6. I actually gonna do something a little bit different today. Last week I did a video about exposing the raw face of cancer, which is the face that you're looking at right now. I'm sorry that the lighting, by the way, I'm seeing this and I'm sorry that the lighting isn't a little bit better, but I wanted to do something a little different, go a little bit lighter. So first of all, let me give you a quick update on my treatment and what's going on with me. My treatments are doing well. I have 3 more to go and I'll be finished. New side effects have kind of come up. My fingernails are bothering me a lot, and it looks like I might even lose them. One in particular, my thumb, is really turning colors, and the nail shape is changing, and it's not doing so hot, and it's very tender to the touch, and I can feel like I can't really grab anything or use it to open a can of soda or anything, because I feel like it's almost going to pop off. So it's a little annoying. It doesn't really hurt, but it's tender, it's uncomfortable. It's just an annoyance, I guess. But the good news is they will grow back, so it is just what it is, something else I have to deal with. But anyway, to get back to the how-to for today, what I'm going to do, actually a couple weeks ago, as you all know, I go to the Harold Lever Center for my treatments, and they offer a lot of support groups there and workshops, and one of the workshops that they had was a workshop called Look Better, Feel Better. I decided not to go to. It's basically a makeup and how to deal with the side effects of cancer, how to put makeup on, get fitted for a wig, things like that. Do scarves, things like that. If you choose to do that, I decided to wait until if I lost eyebrows and eyelashes, which I did. So I waited until that time. I did go, and I was happy that I went. I learned some techniques from this makeup artist, which I'm going to share with you today. I thought it would be helpful for anybody out there that is dealing with this, and you want to look, somewhat decent when you go out or you're going to work or whatever. So I'm going to do just a quick how to put your eyebrows on, make it look like you have eyelashes, and get rid of this redness that I happen to be getting from the side effects of chemotherapy. So I'm going to get right into it. Right now, all I've done is washed my face, and I've applied some moisturizer to my face with a sunscreen protection, 15 SPF, and that's all I have on my face right now. So I'm going to get into it and just go into it. Now, I had to kind of retrofit my phone to do this with the mirror. So when I'm going into the mirror, I'm going to be doing this, but then I'll turn around to look so you can see what's going on. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to use some foundation, which I never use, but because I have this redness on my face, the makeup artist taught me how to do it, so I'm going to use it to cover up all this red blotchiness that I have going on and to get my skin a little bit more of an even tone. So I'm taking a sponge that I've previously moistened with some water so that the makeup doesn't get soaked, the sponge doesn't get soaked up by the makeup, and it also makes it a little bit lighter to apply. And then the trick is not to wipe it on, but to actually just pat it and use pretty good amount of pressure to get it on your skin. And that's really going to get it into kind of all those little pores, crevices, wrinkles, all that stuff. So so you just do that all over your face. Again, put a good amount of pressure around the eye. Try to go a little bit lighter, obviously, because that skin is very sensitive and very tender, and you certainly don't want to pull on that. So I'm just going to get a little bit more, and I'm going to just probably just apply some like this, and then just do it with the sponge. But anyway, I went to this workshop. It was terrific, and I actually surprisingly met up with a new friend that is going to one of the support groups at the Lever Center called Brave at Heart. Her name is Chris D'Amato. and her and I kind of sat together and were able to get our makeup done, and it was really nice. We kind of caught up, we kind of like compared notes, we exchanged makeup because we didn't like the colors that were given to us, because they do give you a nice bag of complimentary makeup, which is nice. So, but you know, you get what you get as far as what's in the bag. But it was a really nice workshop. The gentleman that did it was terrific. His name was Russell. He was really informative, and you know, took the time to really sit with everybody and kind of help everybody get it done. Like, he saw me trying to put the foundation on, and I was definitely doing it wrong because I don't wear it, so I don't know how to do it. He just, you know, straightened me out right away. So it was really nice. So this is pretty good coverage for now. He taught us to put the foundation first and then concealer. So I'm going along with what he did because it actually did help my skin look a lot better. And I know it still looks a little blotchy, but once we finish with the 2 other steps, it'll look a lot better. So I think the foundation is good. Then we did the concealer. I have some dark circles around my eyes, so I kind of concentrate on that. So I'm using just a concealer. This is terrific, by the way. It's by Clinique. And I got this in my little bag, which is great. And I found this to be very, very nice to use. And it has a little sponge here. So you just apply here. Again, because you're under eye, just be very tender with that. Don't use as much pressure. Never wipe. Always kind of pad, but go light. Because it's a you know, very thin skin, very tender. You can go over the eyelid. I like to do that because it just actually helps to, if you're going to wear an eyeshadow. I don't typically wear eyeshadow unless I'm going out at night. But if you are going to wear eyeshadow, it helps to make it stay a little bit better. Any other, you know, red spots, like I have this red spot on my cheek, I'm going to maybe apply a little bit of the concealer here. I have this little patch here along the side of my nose. And I don't know, I guess that looks okay. So on to the next thing. Now, the next thing is the tough one, is the eyebrows. So what I'm going to do, what he taught us was, how do you know where to begin, where to put the arch, and where to stop? So he said you take a pencil or something, a tool, you put it alongside of your nose. So this is what I'm going to use for the eyebrow filler, or, you know, painter, if you will. You take eyebrow pencil here alongside your nose, and that's kind of like, put a little dot. That's kind of like where you know it's supposed to begin. So you can see what I did there, okay? And then you take it halfway through, right in the middle of your nose, and you go to the middle of your eye or your iris, and that's kind of pretty much where the arch, whoops, I did that too much, but where the arch is supposed to be. And then towards the end of your eye, like this, and that's where the tail is supposed to end. So I'm going to put a little dot there, okay? So I'm just going to do real quick on this one so I can get an idea of what I'm doing here. And then I'm just going to start kind of connecting the dots, if you will, right? So put that down. So now the other thing he taught us to do is don't do this. Don't like streak in. He basically said just kind of like fill them in, you know, up and down like this. And you know what? If it gets too thick or too thin, you could always go back and reshape them with some Q-tips. So it's not a big deal. I know right now it looks real sloppy. So don't worry. It will look better when I'm done. And I made a mistake with that thing when I did my little pencil, so it's a little weird right now. So basically he's just said, just do this, make it look, and then, you know, kind of like connect the dots a little bit. This way, I like to do it this way because I don't like the tail to be too thick. That's just my preference. Then I take a Q-tip and I just kind of like start to shape them a little bit. And you can kind of see how it's already starting to look like an eyebrow, and it's done pretty quickly. You know, I mean, I could go a little bit thicker, I could go a little bit, I can go a little bit, ooh, I got something here. I can go a little bit thinner, but I can take off as much as I want once I apply the makeup. Okay, so that looks pretty good, so I'm going to work on the other one just real quick. And again, you just kind of like move your way up. Sometimes you have to go back and, like I said, take some off. I kind of went too low on here, so I'm going to have to come back and take this off and reshape it. And he said that this color is pretty good for everybody. It's kind of like an, you know, just like a dark brown, if you will, and it works for most skin tones. So it was kind of a very neutral kind of makeup piece that he gave everybody. So it was kind of good. And the way they decided on bags, they had them already pre-done, and how they did it was they basically went by your skin tone. So they did light, medium, and dark, and based on what he thought your skin tone would be is basically what he determined which makeup bag you got. And so we kind of did that. This one looks a little bit thicker, so I'm gonna just go back in and just reshape it a little bit. The nice thing is that this comes right off, so it's easy to do. So there you have it. I have to go in a little bit more on here. Kind of, so now I have eyebrows, okay? Pretty quick to do, right? I mean, it wasn't too bad. And again, you can easily, and it kind of almost looks a little more natural when you go up and down as opposed to striking them through. And then if you think it's too dark, you just use your little brush thing here, and you just go through, and this also not only lightens it up, but it almost gives you that effect of hair because you're brushing through it just very lightly, to do that, just to make it kind of look like that. Fill in a little bit here. My thing keeps rolling back in. Just fill in a little bit here. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. So on to the next thing. So now what we have to do is kind of set everything in so that it, you can then apply your, blush or bronzer if you use bronzer. So I'm going to use a little powder to just do that with a brush. And basically just took some powder, dumped it on the lid, took my brush, getting it on here like that. And then kind of like just pad the brows so they kind of stay in place. I like to put it all over my face. And you can now start to take it into... and now this is going to really hide a lot of that redness that I was having. And as I said, really kind of like give me a good foundation for setting everything in place so that if I want to wear eyeshadow or if I want to wear, what do you call it, bronzer or blush, it's going to look okay. So this looks pretty good. I'm happy with, with how it looks. It's as good as it's going to get, right? So I'm going to throw some blush on now and a little bit of bronzer. I kind of like to mix the two just to give it a little dimension. So I have like a light bronzer here. This is again something we picked up from them, and just like a pinky blush. So I just tip my brush in both, both of them, mix it together a little bit, and then I apply it to my cheekbones. And So I'm gonna just apply to the cheekbone area. I happen to have high cheekbones. So here we go. Just kind of lightly get some color back on there now that I took all the color off, because I'm trying to hide the redness. And then I kind of like to do this, smile a little bit. My cheeks kind of pop up a little bit, so I kind of like, I like a little bit of like, you know, sun-kissed, if you will. So I'd like to apply a little bit there. And then I don't mind just going around the whole face. And again, it just kind of almost blends everything together. It doesn't like have you look like you have things that stop and start, and then just go up and down your neck a little bit too, because you don't want to look like you have a mask on. And that kind of helps to blend that all in. All right, so that's done. So now it looks like I have eyebrows on. I mean, unless you come really close to my face, you're not going to know. From a distance, they look pretty good. They look pretty natural. So now how do we do the eyelashes, or pretend to have eyelashes? Basically, you just put on eyeliner and do it as close to your lash line as you possibly can. So, and the best color to use, no matter what color skin tone you have, is black, because that is the mimicking the eyelash. And then it is also going to mimic as part of, it's also going to become an eyeliner. Now, he had us kind of, you know, put it in on our waterline, and that works really well for most people. I happen to wear contacts, so for me, I don't like that, because I feel like the makeup's getting in my eye. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to put it on the eyelid and leave it alone. But you can do both. You can put it on your waterline on the upper and side, and then also on the eyelid to give it a little bit more of a bolder effect. For me, that doesn't work. I like a little bit more natural looking. So I'm just going to do the eyeliner, and it's going to look like eyeliner and lashes at the same time. Once you have the eyeliner on, you can't really tell that you don't have eyelashes. Again, only from a distance. If people pull up next to you, they can certainly see that you don't have any, but again, that's okay. So I'm just gonna, again, you know, I keep my eye almost closed, but I want to be able to get really close to that eye, that lash line, and I do bring it all the way across, and just keep kind of working it. Okay, and then kind of like do a little thing, if you like a little wingtip, and that's that. So that looks okay. I'm gonna stick with that. I'm gonna do this one, and basically it's the same thing, just really close to the line. And if you get it, if you smudge it, no worries. You can. I just smudged it really bad. You know, use your Q-tip and you get it off. This one didn't work out as good because I'm talking and I'm messing with it. So basically you just take your Q-tip, run a little water here, and just go and get it right off. It's okay. Comes right off. And if you want to put it on the you know, water line on the bottom, you can do that as well. So let me get this. There we go. That's better. Okay, same thing. So again, from a distance, it looks like I'm, you know, that I have eyelashes. You can't tell that I don't. Obviously, the eyebrows are in. And if you want to wear a little bit of lipstick, I like to. So I'm going to just put a little color on. A little sheer with maybe a little pigment. It's summer, so I'm using this kind of like, you know, pinky, whatever. And if you want to do a liner, which I do, best way to do your liner is from the outside in, not the other way around, because that makes your lips look smaller. So if you want to go from the outer lip into your thing here, and you know, to line the lip. And I like to put the liner on after the lipstick. He taught us to put the liner on first. I actually like it after because it blends a little bit better. You could feel it a little better. It's easier to put on, and it doesn't look as harsh, I think. So just really quick, just to give your lips some definition. Now I'm doing a light makeup. If you wanted to do bold eye, you can do that, obviously, but I'm not gonna get into this. This is like almost everyday. And then basically just, you know, smudge it a little bit. Now, one of the other things I like to do is to highlight the eye a little bit. I'm going to use a brush, and I'm going to use some white, creamy white shadow. And I want to put some just underneath my fake eyebrows, just to define them just a little bit more. And then kind of the arch area, if you will. And then if you really want to open up your eye, I don't typically wear eyeshadow, but I do like to maybe sometimes just put a little dot of white right there, and that just wakes your eye up. And that's it. That is my daily routine for every day, basically. Before I leave the house, that's what I do. It makes me feel better. It makes me feel a little bit more normal. And so I hope you found this helpful. And please remember to share these videos. Once again, if you are just tuning in for the first time and you haven't followed my story and you would like to, this is video 6. You may start at the beginning by either typing, go to Facebook or YouTube and use the hashtag Cancer Picked the Wrong Woman to Piss Off, and you will see all my videos pop up and you can follow my story. I will be videoing again probably another week or 10 days. So thank you once again for tuning in and following my story. Please continue with the comments and the questions. I'm happy to answer and happy to help out in any way. And I have 3 more treatments to go and I'm done. I can't wait. So thank you again. Ciao for now. Bye. Mwah.